far out and having these far out thoughts. This is one. Uh, that I think that when in human history, when cannabis, because I've done a little. I'm not like an expert, but I've done a little bit of research into like the history of cannabis, and there was a group of Middle Eastern, I believe it was Turkish, but I don't even think it wasn't Turkey at the time. It was like Ottoman Empire or something before that. In that area where there was a group of mercenaries, essentially assassins, that were known as the Hashish Assassins. And so I think that the bloodline of those that have never tried it and have always avoided it, I think there might still be a blemish on its reputation as something that assassins used. And even ninja assassins, they would use it to make their kills to be more stealthy, more in tune with themselves as they go to assassinate people. So I do think it has a history of being used by assassins and mercenaries and ninjas and this sort of thing. So I do think that although it's ancient history, I think the people at the top that are really trying to prevent it, they're the ones that know ancient history. And I think they're still worried about people becoming ninjas and killing them, stealthily or something.
Yeah. I just don't, where I'm anti-synthetic anything, because I think
anything. You don't take vitamin D?
I don't take what?
Like vitamin D. I know it's synthesized from a natural source, but there are a lot of good synthetic things out there that are derived from natural sources, like one of my favorite synthetic things, LSD.
Yeah.
But even non-psychedelic or non-illegal substances like vitamins and supplements that are synthetic but derived from a natural source. I mean, synthetic is, I think one of my biggest things with synthetics is it's when you start to like synthesizing something from a natural source, that's one thing. But then when you start to combine different synthetics to create a whole other monster, that's when you start getting into problems, I feel like. I don't know. At least like problems when it interacts with the human body.
So, I mean, have you had, what is it called, melodone or whatnot, that synthetic THC? Have you had that before?
Marinol?
Marinol, that's it. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
I've never had that, no.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can imagine that's a synthetic, but I can only imagine that would be pretty awesome.
You think it would be the equivalent of hitting a bowl or smoking a J?
No. I can't imagine it would be bad.
Yeah. I mean, how much of the compound is pure THC though? I mean, you can constructed and put THC, your version of THC out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm not sure if it's send it in some sort of fat soluble medium or what.
Yeah, just like this.
It could be oil. They could have just used like some sort of vegetable oil to extract it.
Yeah, just like this fake. Excuse me, this fake meat market that we have out here is like it's not proven that it's healthier and better than
talking about like Beyond Meat and shit.
Yeah. And they do so much shit into it in the lab and cook it up and press on it to make sure that it looks like it's bleeding while you're cooking and all that stuff. It's like, come on, bro. I'm not eating that shit.
Nah.
Yeah. So that's. But am I against synthetic oil and shit like that? I take that back. I'm not anti-synthetic anything, you know, but
yeah, I think it just depends on the synthetic. You have to take it one molecule at a time, or one synthetic substance at a time, because I like a lot of synthetic stuff, especially when it's just like you take you know, another one that I like is like MDMA or ecstasy. A lot of people call it ecstasy or MDA.
mm,
Those are synthetics that you derive from the sassafras plant, or another plant that has that, sassafras being the most common one. I think there are others that you can derive it from. But it's when like the Beyond Meat thing. It's when you start taking all this synthetic stuff and just, I mean, the worst foods for you are the ones that have the longest ingredient lists and
yeah,
have a lot of different food preservatives. And it's like the more that you throw at your body, the worse it gets. Your body
mm,
can handle one synthetic at a time, you know?
yeah, absolutely.
It's when you start what's the word? When you're throwing them all together, it's like a whole concoction of
Yeah.
synthetics. That's when you have the problem start.
A basket of synthetic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A whole smorgasbord. Just throw it all in there. Like a bologna. Bologna.
Yeah, you know what? I still eat bologna too, but I don't know what it is. It's just bologna. Bologna works for me. You know what I mean? I don't know. You know, I don't know if it's something. It's not the best tasting thing in the world, but I mean, you know, it's I don't know. Just like, why do we eat hot dogs? You know?
Yeah, I eat all
Does
beef
a hot
hot
dog
dogs.
really taste that good? Gee, does a hot dog really taste that good?
I
You
think the
know?
Hebrew National ones are okay. I don't really like any other ones.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't, you know, if there's, you're gonna laugh at me for this one, but there's a lot of evidence that being vegan is best for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not there. I'm still eating meat on a daily, but
Yeah.
the evidence is there, man. Like eating meat really isn't that good for the body, really.
But you know, with that being said, you know, why do we have these teeth right here? You know, is that the chew lettuce? You know what I mean? We
I,
have
I do think that eating wild game. I think eating lean meat and like, you know, the meat that's a little tougher to chew, I don't think that's as bad for you. Eating
mm,
rabbit, eating wild game, deer,
mm,
even like even if you know they don't really exist anymore, but if there was such thing as wild cattle or wild pigs, you know, boar, um,
mm.
the meat is just so much better for you when it's lean. The factory farm meat is where the problems start to come in
Oh
because
yeah,
they're not doing
absolutely.
the diseases that they're more susceptible to, and now that we're so far along in this Monsanto food controlled world, you know, there's so many steroids and other preservative injections that the chickens are
Yeah.
getting.